Hi, some thoughts for today, the 13th Sunday after Trinity. Once upon a time there was a shipwreck. Only 2 survivors washed up on a desert island. They had to pray to God. So to find out whose prayer was more powerful, they agreed to divide the land between them and stay on opposite sides of the island. They prayed for food. The first man had fruit-bearing trees. The second had nothing. They felt lonely, so the first man prayed for a wife. Another ship was wrecked with only one survivor, a woman. Nothing on the other side. The first man prayed for a house, clothes and more food. The next day, there they were. The second man received nothing. The first man then prayed for a ship to rescue him and his wife. The next day a ship arrived. They decided to leave the other man behind, as they thought him unworthy because none of his prayers were answered. "Why are you leaving your companion behind?" booms a voice from heaven. "These blessings are mine alone," said the first man, "because I was the only one who prayed for them. His prayers went unanswered. Mine were answered. He doesn't deserve anything." "You are wrong," said God. "He had only one prayer which I answered. If it had not been for his prayer, you would have received nothing. He prayed that all your prayers would be answered." Today Jesus is having a very open and frank discussion with the scribes and the Pharisees. These 2 groups are the guardians of the law, and they have come up especially from Jerusalem to discuss firsthand with this man Jesus. When they arrive, they find to their horror and amazement that the disciples of Jesus are eating without washing their hands. They are not observing the proper rituals. This is serious, mega serious. Up until the 4th and 5th centuries before Christ, the traditions of the Jews had been enshrined within the 10 Commandments and the 5 books of the Old Testament, known as the Pentateuch. But along with a class of legal experts who believed that this was not enough, and they possessed a passion for definition. As far as they were concerned, life was now to be governed not by principles, but by rules and regulations, thousands of them. For the scribes and Pharisees, being ritually clean was vital. Water was kept in special jars. Hands were washed in a special way. And as far as the washing up goes, there were so many rules and laws to make sure your utensils were ritually clean. For instance, a hollow vessel made of pottery could contact uncleanliness inside but not outside. If it did become unclean, it must be broken. No unbroken piece must remain, which was big enough to hold sufficient oil to anoint the little toe. It is broken and thrown in the bin. If any of the discarded pieces are deemed to be too big, the authorities will not be happy. Ethical religion also was buried under a mass of laws and restrictions. So now here is Jesus, allowing his disciples to eat without washing, and the scribes and the Pharisees are outraged. However, Jesus has looked into their hearts and sees that they are more concerned with the outer appearance, how things look, rather than the inside. They were preoccupied with clean hands rather than clean hearts. As he listens to them, he quotes a passage from Isaiah. "The people honour me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching human precepts and doctrines." Hearing these words aimed at them must have hurt very deeply. Jesus is accusing them of hypocrisy, and also how they have abandoned the commandment of God and just held to human tradition. This was a fierce broadside from Jesus that raked through what they held dear and left it all in pieces. This was hard to accept. Jesus tries to explain to them and the crowd that it is what comes from the heart that can be the problem and can give expression to evil. "Get your heart right," said Jesus. Spend time reflecting on your attitude and the actions that result from those attitudes. Get your heart right. So says Jesus. Never mind outer space. What about the inner space? Jesus says, have a mind to what is going on in your heart. Jesus invites people to come to him just as they are, where there is no pretense, no outward show. As a result, Jesus, throughout his work, was able to connect with people who felt lost and forgotten by the world around them. He asks individuals not to hide away and tell them that there is no need to pretend. Just come as you are. Jesus says, then learn from me and live from your heart, a heart that is open, that is honest, and that is forgiving. Jesus recognizes that there will be slip-ups on the way. Just ask Peter and the rest of the disciples. He also said that he will not abandon us when we slip up. It is interesting that the word slip up, spelt backwards, is pupils. We will slip up because we are still learning. We are still pupils. We're on a voyage of discovery in the ways of the heart and the ways of God. Someone wrote these words, empathy is your pain in my heart. Jesus made these words a living reality for Peter, Mary of Magdala, the widow of Nain, Bartimaeus and Zach the tax. Our second survivor did the same for his fellow survivor after the shipwreck. Don't pretend, but rather live from the heart of God within it. We all need the warmth and the love you hold in your heart. Travel safe, pilgrim.